Yo, what's up, Facebook? It's your boy, KaRon KC Caddell, back with an all new season of Sports Talk with KC. Town presents Sports Talk with KC. You already know I'm your host each and every Wednesday night at 7 normally, but at an all new time, 7:30 p.m. each and every Wednesday starting this week. Took a long hiatus, man, to get my mind together, do some other things that I thought were bigger than my sports platform, like my show with Jose Dunn and Lamar Pullum called Black Men Talk. If you guys have followed me, follow Lamar, Jose, or whatever, you've seen me on those various shows, and we've been going 19 weeks strong each and every Tuesday night. We just shot 19th episode, but yeah, man, I feel like this was more important in my life at that point in time because I was needing that therapy, talking each and every Tuesday night with my fellas, and also with the people that felt the same way as I or felt opposite as I did, and it was more important. And then also healing through laughter, another therapy type of session with me and Lamar and two females, Kim and Shamika. That show is also important to me because, like I said, it's kind of what I needed at the moment of time, and healed me to where I can come back to you guys, to the sports fans, to the sports world. And man, I'm not gonna hold y'all too long about talk about my hiatus, man. We're gonna talk about sports tonight. I got a loaded show for you guys. We're gonna talk some NFL. We're gonna talk some NCAA. You know what I'm saying? Conference realignment, college football playoff, the expansion of that. But yeah, man. Before we get started, please like, share, and subscribe to Title Town TV on YouTube, the Black and Gold brand on there, where we shine the spotlight on the true champions of the community. And speaking of community, us and Let's Hear the Roots, our joint show, Healing Through Laughter, is putting on a better school event, what's happening after school has already started, obviously. But September 2nd will be at Kentucky Park from 10 to 2, uh, giving away school supplies, haircuts, hairstyles, um, have motivational speakers, games, all kind of fun stuff for the kids to do. So bring your kids out and have a good time with us, man. But let's go ahead and get to these sports, man. Please feel free to comment any questions, any suggestions, any opinions of you guys, and I'll get back to you as early as possible. You might even see your comment across the screen on here. First off, let's talk about the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame, NFL Hall of Fame inductees for 2023. They were announced. They were inducted this past Thursday before the Hall of Fame game and preseason game between the Jets and the Browns. First up in the National uh, Football League Hall of Fame class 2023, we have former Tampa Bay cornerback Rondé Barber, one of the greatest corners of all time, man. Did it all, could do it all. Stopped the run game, sacked the quarterback, and get a lot of interceptions. Man, he was a ball hawk. Was a lockdown corner. Over 10 years in the league, man. He's a twin brother of Tiki Barber, obviously former running back of the Giants. Was an integral part of that Tampa Bay 2002 Super Bowl team, man. One of the greatest defenses of all time. Him, John Lynch, Simeon Rice, Warren Sapp, Dexter Jackson, all those great defenders, man. Was one of the key parts of that defense, man, and held it down in Tampa. I don't remember him going elsewhere. If he did, please put in the chat what team he went to. I remember him going playing for anyone else other than Tampa, but yeah, man, we'll always remember as a Buck. Next up, we have another corner, one of my favorite corners of all time, Darrell Reeves, man. I see him put on a little weight, man. I know your career's over now, so you'll have to take care of your body like that, you know what I'm saying? Just continue to take care of your family. But I see though, Darrell Reeves, man, but yeah, one of the greatest corners of all time, man. Had a nickname, that one of the dopest, coolest nicknames out there for his coverage skills. Reeves Island, man, he can put you on the island one-on-one. That receiver just erased from the game, man. Lost that seat for real. Messing with Darrell Reeves, man. I remember his rivalry with Randy Moss that season with the Patriots and the Jets, man. One of my favorite corner receiver rivalries. I wasn't compared to Dion and Jerry Rice, but the competition, the people that's involved, two Hall of Fame receivers and corners, man, definitely lived up to the hype every time the Jets and the Patriots played around that time. Not very many was able to get off on Darrell Reeves, man. Definitely in his prime, one of the greatest to do it, man. And he was always being remembered. I asked the question the other day: who was better, Rondé or Darrell? If you're looking for a pure shutdown corner, Darrell's your guy. But if you need a corner, maybe a corner two, you know what I'm saying? If you already have an all-star corner on the other side, like a Champ Bailey or a Dion or a Darrell, and you need a number two that can do it all, and you know what I'm saying, have special packages for him. I think in today's game, I think Rondé would be a great nickel. You know what I'm saying? I think he would be great in the slot against bigger receivers and smaller receivers and bigger tight ends, and able to, you know what I'm saying, pressure the quarterback and dropping covers when need be. So like I said, it just depends on what you're looking for in your corner, what you want your corner to do. Next up, we have Joe Thomas. Offensive tackle Joe Thomas used to play for the Browns years ago, man, was a staple for that Browns organization for a long time. During a tough time, really, when it was steadily looking for great quarterback play. He played with guys like Brandon Whedon, Johnny Manziel, most famously probably a young Baker Mayfield, people like that. But Joe Thomas was one of the best, man. Constantly Pro Bowler, constantly All Pro tackle, one of the greatest of all time. Definitely deserved that Hall of Fame nod. Probably no relation, but Zach Thomas from his former Miami Dolphin and Dallas Cowboy linebacker Zach Thomas. I remember my early memories of Zach Thomas was playing with him on NFL Street. I'm not sure if y'all remember now, but NFL Street, honestly, if you play a pickup game and you limit yourself to how many people in that draft pool, linebackers might have been one of the weaker positions or more top-heavy positions at that time if you didn't get a Ray Lewis or Brian Urlacher. But if you're looking for a solid fourth, fifth option during that time period, Zach Thomas was that guy, man. That's one of my earliest memories of him, and seeing it on the field, you know what I'm saying, as a young fan, it all translated. He was just as good on the field as he was in game. But yeah, man, definitely one of my favorite linebackers of all time, just based off of that. DeMarcus Ware, surprisingly enough, went to Troy University, became a superstar edge rusher for the Dallas Cowboys and the Broncos. Was able to get the elusive championship with the Broncos in 2015, and rode off in the sunset. You know, on a positive note, man. DeMarcus Ware. I remember when Dallas was contemplating on re-signing him, and I think he was getting older, starting, you know, not playing many games, and they were starting to draft other players to replace him and sign other players or whatever, and he was getting ready to leave for the Broncos. And I'm just like, damn, bro, how could Cowboys be that stupid? And he still had a lot in the tank. And so, yeah, man, DeMarcus Ware is one of the greatest edge rushers of all time. Set the standard for guys we know today, like Von Miller, Myles Garrett, people like that, you know what I'm saying, that mold. Can play some edge, can play some linebacker, TJ Watt, you know what I'm saying, people like that. Once his career got older, he got older in his career, he was able to still play some outside linebacker and rush the edge as well. Right. Next up, we got Don Coryell, former San Diego Charger head coach, and a contributor. He was before my time, but I do know just through my research and history, sports history, I've learned that he's very important to the game because of what he did as a coach that coached a heavy passing game, how the passing game can set up the run game, and vice versa. Kellen Winslow Senior, Dan Fouts, Steve Altworth, I think that's his name. Altworth. Yeah, man, that trio of receivers, well, I guess you could say quad, including the coach, definitely changed the game, and the game wouldn't be like it is now if it wasn't for him and his expertise in the passing game. Next up, we got former player and senior of the NFL, Chuck Howley, who's a former linebacker in the league, D-tackle in the league, Joe Colecco and Ken Riley, some more seniors from the NFL that finally got into the league. Congratulations to all you guys. But let's get into the Hall of Fame game. It was interesting plays in this game being made. The final score was Jets 16, Browns 21. The Browns kind of got a nice quarterback 2 battle going on with 2 young quarterbacks that I can, if they don't make either one make the Browns roster, I can see on other people's roster as a developmental player and being very good for someone down the line. Kellen Mond, one of my favorite quarterbacks from the draft a couple years ago. I was really hoping he would have caught on with the Vikings. He was ultimately traded away to the Browns last season. But I was hoping that, one day he could succeed Kirk Cousins. I know Kirk Cousins does get a lot of scrutiny, a lot of backlash for the way he plays sometimes, and not known for winning, not known for being super consistent. But with Jay Jettas and Dalvin Cook at the time, and T.J. Hockenson last year, there was definitely times where we got to see the Kirk Cousins we thought he could be in Washington. But back to Kellen. He had a solid game, 13 of 19 for 90 yards, had 1 touchdown and 1 interception. It came at a bad moment where they were driving, they were moving the ball pretty well, and an interception kind of let the Jets back into the game. But that didn't stop the Browns from ultimately winning this game on the shoulders of rookie quarterback Dorian Thompson Robinson. That name sounds familiar. He's a former quarterback at UCLA. I remember seeing him the last couple of years, him really involved. I was hoping that he would have got drafted higher, but this draft class was pretty loaded with some solid quarterback this season. But yeah, man, he went 8 for 11, 82 yards and 1 touchdown, the game-winning touchdown to be exact, to put the Jets out and win pretty much at home, man. Canton, Ohio, where the Hall of Fame is located. On the other side for the Jets, their quarterback Zach Wilson went 3 for 5, 65 yards, no touchdowns. Zach Wilson, I was really hoping he would have turned into a good quarterback, at least a solid quarterback. I was not saying go ahead and be elite after 2-3 years or whatever, but I was really hoping Zach would have caught on. I would really like him coming out of BYU, very mobile, had some swag to him. It definitely was a project coming from lesser competition and the Mountain West or whatever, and it looked, he had some games where he really looked good, looked very accurate, and he got into the NFL, and it's just like he forgot everything he did in college. He didn't feel the same no more. I mean, it could, of course, be what the Jets were, what he had working with the Jets. Offensive line hadn't always been a lot of injuries. Mekhi Becton, a guy who is hoping to come back healthy. If not, he probably will be traded at some point this season or next. Brees Hall going down last season. So normal things, you know what I'm saying, within the organization that led to Zach Wilson's demise. But Zach Wilson has done some things, said some things that has rubbed the organization the wrong way. So I understand their treatment of him being benched multiple times. But yeah, man, I do think we are seeing some of his last games with the Jets. I don't see him being in New York much longer. Definitely not by the end of the season. If Aaron Rodgers is in the season healthy, and does what he's supposed to do as the quarterback of now and the future for the Jets, Zach Wilson will be out the door pretty soon. Whether it's trade him somewhere, release him somewhere, come next offseason, you know, whenever it happens, I don't see him making very many appearances for the Jets. I hate it for him. Former second overall pick. Looks like Justin Fields should have been that pick, or maybe Mac Jones or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? NFL draft is hard to predict. You guys have seen my mocks over the years. Even last year, you know, in this past draft, I was wrong about a lot of things, right about a lot of things, and you know what I'm saying? You could never truly get it right. But yeah, man. Thanks for y'all for tuning in, man. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, comment on Titletown TV on YouTube. We're live from YouTube and Facebook as we speak. Please follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well. But yeah, man, let's keep on rolling. Next up, we're gonna talk about the running backs, man. The running backs, for far as long as I've been a fan, has been a staple of every NFL offense. You had a great running back. 9 times out of 10, your offense or your team in general was at least decent. You know what I'm saying? We've had bad kind of running backs recently, such as Derrick Henry, catapult the Tennessee Titans offense and team to relevancy in the playoffs, as well as, you know what I'm saying, getting someone like Ryan Tannehill get a new life in his NFL career after what he wasn't doing or was doing in Miami. Got him a big contract. So running backs definitely deserve a bit of respect in what they've been doing. I know it's kind of hard to pay them with seeing how a lot of running backs have fallen off or declined after they've gotten big money contracts, or, you know what I'm saying, whether it's their play, they gotten older or whatever. It's kind of hard to pay a running back long term big money just to see them get hurt or decline play. And we have a couple of examples of that. You know, Todd Gurley, Ezekiel Elliott, Le'Veon Bell. Running backs like that have made it hard for running backs that are still in the game get paid like they want. Saquon Barkley, he's having got some drama with the Giants. Had their fall away. Dalvin Cook wanted some more money in Minnesota. He ended up ultimately getting cut, and then now he's looking for a home. Still looking for, you know what I'm saying, somewhere to play for. Still a top 5, top 10 back. Don't understand why he hasn't signed yet. It was some distinction before the draft between Austin Eckler and the Chargers. Who else, man? Jonathan Taylor, him and Jim Irsay into it. Pretty much Irsay feels like Jonathan Taylor's replaceable. I mean, it's the disrespectful is very messed up, man. I get it. You know what I'm saying? You can survive and get by with having multiple running backs that can do different things and can really combine their production of one guy, but at a cheaper rate or whatever. I completely understand that. But what about those guys who are special, like the APs of the world? Like I said, we still got some bell cow guys in the league right now. Nick Chubb quietly had one of the best running back seasons of all time. Who else you got? Jonathan Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have the best season, but 2 years ago when he was the offensive player of the year in the NFL, had a great season. Alvin Kamara, guy we were talking about a little later, good. Dalvin Cook is still good, still top 10 running back. There's a lot of bell cow running backs in the NFL. Najee Harris is gonna probably run into the same issue next year too. From the Steelers, man, they're gonna be hesitant on signing him. But to big money because of you know what I'm saying, the past. But you have to take your chances, man. I mean, I guess you pick the organization. Again, you are making your team more flexible as far as what positions you can focus on, more depth and things that matter. But these running backs can change the game, man. Some are really good. We saw how Miles Sanders, for instance, left the Eagles with some money or whatever, but he signed with the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers was not as good as the Eagles has been the last couple of years. The Panthers had a first overall pick this year. They got Bryce Young. They are building. I will say that, but they're not the Eagles. They're not as close to the Super Bowl as the Eagles are. The Eagles were in the Super Bowl last season with Miles Sanders, and now they have. I wouldn't say downgraded their backfield, but they don't have a true feature back. They have DeAndre Swift, who they traded for from the Lions, Rashawn Penny from a first-round pick, Boston Scott, guys like that in their backfield. But I don't think those guys individually are as good as Miles Sanders. DeAndre Swift has a really good shot at being that good, but the way the Lions traded them to the Eagles, I don't know. They probably didn't believe him either, man. But yeah, man, I know I'm not sure if you guys out there play fantasy football, but I'm a vouch for me and the rest of my league. Hopefully, we're gonna draft the running backs first round in our fantasy draft, man. Everybody drafts a running back just to show them some love, man. Let's get the focus back on them and get them paid, bro. At least they should do that. You know what I'm saying? Try to do that. But teams have constantly disrespected, minimized the value of running backs over the years. Last few years, think less of their talent. Think they replaced them with Pro Bowl caliber running backs with multiple running backs, man. And you know what I'm saying? Some of those running back combinations are cool, man. Of course, we love to see a thunder and lightning combination, whatever like that. But if I can get one guy who has both breakaway speed, can break tackles, can do it all, I'm going to pay. I'm going to make sure he's compensated for making my quarterback better, making my receiver room better, making my team better overall. Dalvin Cook, man, it's really upsetting to me that he hasn't been signed yet, man. I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm not really sure if there's a certain number he wants and teams are willing to give that, or they feel like he's washed or whatever, but he definitely deserves a shot. One of my favorite backs in the league, one of the best backs in the league, in my opinion, still very explosive, can still take it a distance. I would love to see him on a team like, the first one is the Dolphins, of course. That's the most obvious one, with them being so close, with those pair of receivers. They got two when healthy is one of the best young quarterbacks. He wouldn't be in the backfield alone. Of course, you got Raheem Mostert in that backfield. Improving defense who's steady adding on Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard, Jalen Phillips, Raheem Davis, and Christian Wilkins on the D line. But yeah, man, it may be a start running back away. Bills, same thing, man. They surprisingly drafted a tight end for Josh Allen to have, course, Josh Allen is a top 5 quarterback in the league, if not top 3. Little bro, Dalvin's little brother, James Cook, plays running back for them. Of course, you don't want to take your spot from your little brother, but he's obviously the better back at this time, and I'm pretty sure they will welcome. He will welcome his brother to the team like he would anybody else. The Jets is another interesting pick. Waiting on Bryce Hall to get healthy. Maybe you can sign Dalvin Cook to a short-term deal, and you know what I'm saying, slowly bring back Brees into the fold, and then you have both guys healthy, and try to go make a Super Bowl run. The Saints with Kamara's suspension. I mean, of course, like I said earlier about they having Jamal Williams, the rushing touchdown leader last season, having him back into the fold. Having him in the fold now after coming off the season he had could definitely ease the pain of losing Kamara for those 3 games. They didn't sign Kareem Hunt. He did work out for him, but he didn't sign. And then lastly, the Rams. This would be one last shot at a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Matt Stafford come back healthy. Cooper Kupp comes back healthy. Dalvin Cook in the backfield. Cam Akers, backing them up. I don't Aaron Donald on that defense. You don't have to worry about the defense as long as Aaron Donald is healthy and playing. It can probably make some other changes to get close to the Super Bowl, but little moves like that could definitely catapult into at least the playoff contention. But yeah, man, Dalvin still one of the best running backs in the league, man. Had I guess you could say a down year. Only had 1,100, just under 1,200 yards on 264 carries, 8 touchdowns last season. Yes, you could say it's a down year. You also shared the backfield with their now starting Vikings now starting running back Alexander Madison. He's always been around. He's not he's a new cat or whatever, but he's looking to have a bigger role this season. So cheaper running back who could give y'all a solid production. Had 74 carries last season, 283 yards, but had 5 touchdowns. So he definitely can get the ball over the pylon. Speaking of which, a guy who really messed it up for Dalvin was that boy Jay Jettis, man. Justin Jefferson, man, came to the Minnesota Vikings like Randy Moss almost, man. Has had 2 seasons over 100 catches. Had 88 catches, 90 catches. His rookie season. This past season had 128 catches for 1,800 yards, 8 touchdowns. We're one of the faces of the league now. So having a guy like Dalvin in that backfield who commands so much, who would demand so much money, I guess if y'all looking from a financial standpoint from a team, because he's so good and deserves to be paid, you know what I'm saying, properly, it doesn't get much better than Dalvin. Jonathan Taylor, another guy who I said before is not been looked at as a staple in the Colts offense. Him and Jim Irsay aren't seeing eye to eye right now. They had some words and some things have been said, didn't get said or whatever. I'm not sure what the issue between them exactly, but I didn't get bottom to it. I would hate to see Jonathan Taylor leave a team that's treading in the right direction. They were able to draft Anthony Richardson, who's looking like a quarterback of the future for them. A guy who they can finally lean their hat on, unlike the last couple of years with Carson Wentz and Matt Ryan and Phillip Rivers, a young quarterback they can develop in their system each and every season. And to a Super Bowl contender, man, they got some pieces. They got Jonathan Taylor running back. They have Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce. That defense still has some playmakers on their defense. One of the best offensive lines in the league. definitely have potential with the Colts, man. But if he is traded, I have some teams that I would like to see him on. Some of the same teams as for Dalvin. I think there's more better possibilities with him being a little younger than Dalvin. But Chicago Bears, a young team who's looking to rebuild and continue to progress with their young team. Justin Fields at quarterback, DJ Moore, Chase Claypool at receiver, Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet at tight end, Khalil Herbert at running back, adding a guy like Jonathan Taylor to put a cherry on top for the offense, man. Him and Justin Fields running wild, great third down back, and Khalil Herbert can do some things out of the backfield. Patriots. That's another team I'm seeing getting a lot of attention for being one of the candidates for these star running backs. I see them trading a second, third rounder for Jonathan Taylor and pairing him with Mondre Stevens, who had a solid season as a rookie. Get Mac Jones back going, protecting him, and also limiting his throws until they continue to add to their receiver room, continue to build their offense around Mac Jones. Having a guy like Jonathan Taylor would definitely ease the pressure. The Commanders, I've seen them in talks running back. I know they got Brian Robinson. We all love, and our hometown kid, hometown hero, Brian Robinson. Pairing him with Jonathan Taylor while he's still young on a rookie deal could do both. Would do great for Brian Robinson's career. I know they still have Antonio Gibson, who they're hoping can continue to be, that 1-2 punch for Commanders. But if they have a real shot at doing good things this season, they have a solid receiving room, defense, who should be much improved. Sam Howell starting at quarterback should be much improved, man. Another year in the offense. Alvin Kamara, another running back I want to talk about. I know he's, like I said before, he's only spent 3 games, but he brings a healthy price tag. They've already invested in their running back room already. Like I said before, former touchdown leader Jamal Williams had 17 touchdowns last season, coming over from the Lions, man. Supposed to be a 1-2 punch with Saints, but I can really want to see Jamal Williams in that number 1 role, man. Took the spot from DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift got traded from the Lions as well. They ended up drafting Jamar Gibbs from Alabama. Yeah, man. They've made a lot of changes in Detroit in general, but seeing a guy like Jamal Williams leave Detroit spoke volumes to me, and especially going to a team that has a running back that's currently in trouble with the league, and you know what I'm saying, one more slip up like that could definitely cost Alvin Kamara a lot of money. Also, his time in New Orleans, like I said, worked out Kareem Hunt, and if they would have signed him, I'm not gonna lie to you, it would have gave me enough to be able to part ways with Kamara. Like, Saints aren't there yet; they still a ways away from being the cream of the crop of the league. I like what they're doing. I like how they got Derek Carr, a quarterback who's hungry to prove himself again, kind of like Drew Brees coming in. I'm not gonna say he's gonna be Drew Brees, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I'm just saying, as far as like having a comeback season, after Drew Brees hurt his shoulder and the Chargers went with Phillip Rivers instead. Drew Brees coming to New Orleans, not only saved his life but saved that city after Katrina. This could definitely revitalize Derek Carr's career, and having running backs like Jamal Williams, aka 41, or Kareem Hunt, if he ultimately decides to sign with them, will do wonders for his career and the future of their organization. I would love to see Kamara in Washington. Him and Brian Robinson as their lightning thunder punch, man. I'm not allowed to. This would be very interesting. It would be very, very interesting. But I don't see, that happening. That's probably out of the ones the running back I've talked about today, probably the least likely to happen. Saquon, another guy, all those things I mentioned before, would love to have a running back like Saquon. Speaking of quarterbacks, man, here go my top 5 quarterbacks entering the 2023 season for NFL. Starting at number 5, we got Lamar Jackson, quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens, man, former MVP. Just got his bag finally, thank God. I was waiting to see where he would go get traded to ultimately, whether it was the Jets before Aaron Rodgers got there or whether it was, I don't know, Atlanta, bringing that Mike Vick vibe back to the ATL. Man, I was really hoping to see, some shifts, some changes, man. They finally put the respect on his name and got him the bag. Congratulations, Lamar Jackson. But yeah, man, coming to the season, gonna be one of the best quarterbacks. Much improved receiver room. Zay Flowers, they got in the draft. Former first round pick. OBJ is back is now in Baltimore. Hopefully, as their wide receiver 1, another year for Rashad Bateman to learn and hopefully climb on the depth chart now with Zay Flowers and OBJ. They were in the sweepstakes for DeAndre Hopkins. I know a lot of Raven fans was hoping that he would have signed with them instead of Tennessee, but it didn't happen. But yeah, next up, I have another great running quarterback. Not running back, running quarterback. Josh Allen, man. Josh Allen, the man to cover, man. The main reason I have him at 4, I'm not really sure what the Bills are doing with Stephon Diggs at the moment. There's a lot of friction with him right now in the organization. And without Stephon, I don't see Josh Allen going very far. I know they drafted Dalton Kincaid out of Utah, tight end. That helps a lot. They are still in the sweepstakes for Dalvin Cook. Could do some things in their backfield. That defense going to be good as always. Von Miller, Ed Oliver, Trey White. They're going to do their things on the defense end, but the offense is what going to put points on the board and ultimately have them competing with the Chiefs and the Bengals and the Eagles of the Ravens of the league. All these teams, all the quarterbacks we're talking about now are elite teams, are playoff team, man. And any of these 5 quarterbacks can win the Super Bowl this season. Next up, we got Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl runner-up from last season. Jalen Hurts, also MVP runner-up, man, former Alabama Crimson Tide quarterback and Oklahoma quarterback, Jalen Hurts, man, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I wasn't very high on him playing for the Eagles. I'm not saying he was not good enough or whatever, or I thought Tua was better or anything like that, or any negative comment from him about that. But I felt like the Eagles wasn't going to build around him. And I said that they take on the radio a couple years ago, and I bit my tongue. I definitely put my foot in my ass on that one. I will say that. I apologize to the Eagles organization and Jalen Hurts in particular. I didn't think they would build around him, especially, after they signed Gardner Minshew, and it was rumbles that, Minshew might have a shot if things go left for Jalen. But, man, it's all you take a little patience, man, adding some well-needed ammo on the offense, like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Dallas Goedert developed to one of the best, if not probably top 5 tight end in the league right now. They run game, like I mentioned before, with Miles Sanders. Now they have a 3-headed backfield with Swift, Scott, and Penny. A defense who are loaded with Georgia players, Pro Bowl players, man, all kind of stuff, man. They just signed some more guys, a couple linebackers the other day, Miles Jack and somebody else I can't remember at the moment. But yeah, man, defense is steady, adding depth to that team, man, and they really build around Jalen Hurts, man. I can definitely see them back at the Super Bowl again. Speaking of Super Bowl, year before last runner-up, Joe Burrow, one of the few quarterbacks to beat Patrick Mahomes when it mattered the most, man, in the playoff time. Joey Ice, Joey B, and whatever you want to call him, man. Joe Burrow is the man. Led LSU to one of the greatest college football seasons of all time. In college, him, Jay Jettis, Clyde Edwards, Hilaire Edwards, or whatever, Jamar Chase, that team. But now he's in the Bengals similar situation, man. You got Jamar Chase, you got T. Higgins, you got Tyler Boyd, you Hayden Hurst last year was a tight end, was solid for y'all. He's moved on to the Panthers, I believe. I think you have Earl Smith Jr. Bengals fans, correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. But yeah, man, constantly always have high quality talent around him. It's no different this year. Joe Burrow, man. Oh, Joe Mixon, if I mention him as well. Offensive line, he signed Orlando Brown this season. Moved Jonah Williams to right tackle. So they opened up some things versatility-wise for other players. Lionel Collins got he traded for mid-season last season to play tackle. Could possibly move inside the guard. So like I said, continually build around these guys, man. Like I said, all these guys have pieces around them for them to compete years down the road, man. And all these guys are super young, man, are in their prime and have a chance to get better, man. But last but not least, the best, my quarterback, my team's quarterback, the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, sir. KC goes for KC. The Kansas City Chiefs. Pat Mahomes, man. Pat Mahomes, boy. Jackson, big brother. Free Jackson. But man, for real. Patrick Mahomes, no matter who you give him to play with, man. They traded away Tyreek Hill. They didn't know how he was going to make it happen without number receiver. It made it happen. Another MVP season, another Super Bowl. He still got Travis Kelce. So what? He's had Travis Kelce since he came into the league. Yeah, I still haven't been able to stop them, man. Eventually, you guys are going to have to figure it out, and you can't. He's just that good. Our best receiver next year may be Justin Ross, a guy who was drafted late, who was supposed to be one of the best college football receivers we've seen in a long time. It's now developing to a quality starter in the league, man, from what I'm hearing in camp. Caddell Toney, a castaway from New York Giants, man, wasn't getting it done. Looked very good for us last season in that orange and yellow. But Cole Hartman leads us for the Jets. We already had a backup plan for him, man. So, you know what I'm saying? All these quarterbacks have talent around them. We talked about running backs earlier. They still have Clyde Edwards-Hilaire. He's not our best bet. He might not even see the field very much next season. Because Isaiah Pacheco caught on so well. Mr. I want to rock. Yes, Pacheco will back next season, man. Will be even better, man. For my Chiefs, man. But that was my top 5 quarterbacks. Pat 1, Joe 2, Jalen 3, Josh 4, Lamar 5, man. If you agree with my top 5 quarterbacks entering the 2023 season, please like this video, run it up. List who your top 5 is. We can debate on it, talk about it right now live or another time. I said I will be back from now on each and every week at 7:30 each and every Wednesday night. I've told you guys my favorite team in the NFL right now is the Chiefs. And I want to go through their schedule real quick and predict. Not, you know what I'm saying? Not go too crazy. No, not the undefeated season or whatever, but definitely break down game by game what our record could look like. Game 1, Thursday Night Football. We have at home against the Detroit Lions, a team who who has done a lot changing the team up around these last couple off seasons and seasons. Different look. They once looked at one of the worst teams. Now they're one of the most mid-ish team, okay teams. You never know with them. Could definitely upset a lot of teams, but won't get my Chiefs the first week of the season, man. Would not coming off the Super Bowl and losing game one of the season following the Super Bowl. Congrats to Teddy Bridgewater for signing with the Lions, man. Looks like he's gonna be the backup for Jared Goff as Hendon Hooker recovers from the ACL tear. A good young quarterback has two quarterbacks to learn from, two good quarterbacks to learn from. I'm excited for him in his career. Jahmyr Gibbs, whenever Jameis Williams, all my Bama guys that play for the Lions, man. Shout out to y'all. Next up, game 2, we got the Jaguars in Jacksonville. But it doesn't matter. I think we're going to walk out with a dub. Trevor Lawrence is one of the best young quarterbacks. Excited to see Calvin Ridley back on the field after the year-long suspension. The Jags are going to be a good team in the AFC too. I think they're my winner for the AFC South for sure. The week after that, we have the Bears at home. Too young. I don't see them even getting close to us. The week after that, we have the Jets in New York. Aaron Rodgers, first game against Pat Mahomes in a Jets jersey. Will be a very close game, I believe, if Aaron Rodgers is still in MVP form. And by week 4, him, Garrett Wilson, and the rest of the receivers and running backs will have some kind of connection. Despite it being a close game, I think we're going to walk up with a dub. Next week after that, we have the Vikings, Jay Jettas, Kirk Cousins up there in Minnesota, man. Alex Madison, and now running back instead of Dalvin Cook. If we pick up Dalvin Cook, him and Pacheco, and we can move on from Clyde. Don't talk about running back. Sorry, just idea popped in my head. But yeah, man, the Vikings don't have enough firepower, man. Jay Jettis can't get it done by himself. Jordan Addison is a nice addition, but I don't think he's there yet. That Chief offensive defense is gonna be clicking by this point. Next week we got the Broncos, who should be much improved after a down season from Russell Wilson and the rest of that crew, man. It's gonna be a tight game because of that defense, man. Pat Surtain is gonna take away our best receivers. Who that might be, you never know. But we are loaded across the board, so I don't see that being much of a difference, making much of a difference. Week after that, we have another dub against Chargers, man. Both of these games are at home, luckily. The Chargers, they play better away for some odd reason, but I don't think they have enough firepower to hang with the Chiefs, even though they are looking very good. I will say that Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Quentin Johnston, Austin Eckler, Justin Herbert has a lot of weapons to work with. And then we're playing the Broncos again, but in Denver this time in the Mile High. They'll give us probably a little bit of a better game, but us being so dominant, so hot right now, starting the season off with a 8-game win streak. I finally got us losing, man. Traveling down to Miami to the Dolphins. I got us losing to the Dolphins mid-season right before the bye. It's going to be a close game, but we're going to use that game to work out some kinks and get better during the bye. And as we prepare for our Super Bowl rivalry from the last season, the Philadelphia Eagles at home, back at home, we're going to feel much better, much rejuvenated. It's going to be a shootout of a game, man. Eagles versus the Chiefs. Then we travel to Las Vegas and to Green Bay back-to-back weeks. Play the Raiders, unless Tom Brady walking through the door, not word. Next, Packers, similar situation, but with Aaron Rodgers instead. I really think the Packers going to be good without Aaron Rodgers. I think Jordan Love showed us some flashes last season. Him and Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, that they have a young future. Their future is bright. For those young guys, and I think they're gonna give us a nice game, man. Next up, we go to New England to play the Patriots. Another young team that's just not ready just yet for Super Bowl contender like the Chiefs, Raiders. Like I said, man, unless Tom Brady himself, when the owners come down and play against us, I don't see the Raiders beating us no time this season. We sweep the division, but his last game, depending on the seeding and what happens, we're probably going to sit our starters. But it's caliber of a game, man. I hope we get to see Joe versus Pat and everybody at full forward before the playoffs start. Going against the Bengals, if we are the number one seed and got things locked up, why not sit our starters? So I know I want to see the big game matching up against each other, but yeah, man, I got the Bengals winning this one. All right. Let's make a quick run through Alabama's schedule. I have them going undefeated all the way until they play LSU. So wins against Middle Tennessee State, close win against Texas. That's going to come down to quarterback play. Our quarterback can outplay theirs. Definitely going to win that game. The last few times we played Texas, we've always knocked out that starting quarterback, and we got Baby Manning if that happens. If Quentin Ayers get hurt, we got to worry about Arch Manning. We try to get him too, so he's that good. South Florida doesn't stand a chance. Ole Miss got some players, man. Arguably the best running back in the game and all of college football in the SEC at least. One of the best offensive lines. Jackson Dart is a young quarterback, but I think Bama's is too much for him. Mississippi State stands no chance. Same thing with Texas A&M. Arkansas, KJ Jefferson, his experience back there at quarterback will prove a lot against our young quarterbacks. Hopefully by then when we have figured out who our quarterback is, I'm rooting for Jalen Merrill. But I think we got the dub at home. And then Tennessee, another tough matchup against Tennessee. Joe Milton got one of the best arms in the game. Tennessee did lose a lot of receivers to the draft this past season, so they might not be clicking just yet. By the time of the season, hopefully, we are rolling into a nice momentum going into the LSU week. This is the one loss I know for a fact we might lose this game. I think LSU is just that good. I think they are a playoff contender, a SEC contender, a SEC championship contender. I feel as if they can make the playoffs and also winning that championship. Honestly, I'm that high on LSU right now. I know a lot of Bama fans looking at me crazy right now, but I believe they're that good. Jaden Daniels gets another year under center. Chip Kelly, another year with the LSU team. Defense was steady improving, steady getting better. The big names on the defense, man, gonna make a big difference. Offense should be much improved. LSU, it's a one guarantee loss. If I had a point, we'll go ahead and spoil it. We're going to end the season winning. Kentucky winning. At home against Tennessee Chattanooga win. Auburn is Auburn. Be for real. But yes, if I could point out another loss in Alabama's schedule right now, it would be Tennessee or Texas. Texas more preferably because how early it is in the season, and then with our quarterback situation, could definitely hinder us starting the season off undefeated. Will they make the college football playoff? Yes, if they go undefeated. If they lose to LSU and they go on to win the SEC championship again, I see it's just outside of it. There is a world where they both get in. Georgia might fall off. Something else might happen in a different conference or whatever. Upsets. You know how things might go. We've seen it happen. Kansas State knocking teams off, TCU and Utah. You know, just when we thought we figured it out, upset happened. So hard to predict. Will they win the SEC? I got LSU winning the SEC, so no. Natty, we definitely have Natty potential. We of course have 5-star, 4-star talent across the board. It's just all about putting it all together, man. I would love to see Bryce come back for another season with this team. Him being that senior leader, him being Mr. Poise, him being Mr. Cool, Calm, and Collective. And when everybody doubted us, he rose above and lifted the team up. He would have been perfect for this team, man. A lot of people doubting the receiving unit, but I think they're going to get much improved with Kobe Prentice and Jacoby Brooks and another year of Jeremiah Burton, a receiver, Wardell Williams, Jason McClellan, Richard Young, man. The potential of the offense is very, very bright. You know what I'm saying? The potential for them is very bright, man. The new kid from Notre Dame looks pretty well. Jalen Merrill, me personally, I would give him the edge just from an athleticism standpoint. I hear Ty Simpson is doing really well in camp. But whoever does ultimately win that quarterback battle, man, I really hope they can lead us to winning some jury, man. Whether it's SEC only or the Natty, even better. So, but yeah, man, that was Sportstalk with KC, man. Glad to be back with you guys, man. If you enjoyed the show, please give us a like, thumbs up, heart, whatever you want to give me, man. Send some stars, comment, suggestions or things that I should talk about. Some of your team that you want to talk about. You want to come on the show and debate? We can debate. We can talk, whatever. I just want to get back into my sports mood, back into the sports game. Get back to my people, my fans who miss me. Yes, I'm praying, I'm hoping that I will be back each and every Wednesday night for you guys, more on a consistent basis. I miss doing this with you guys. But yeah, man, please don't forget about Black Man Talk each and every Tuesday night on the Mark Puller's page. Please go like and share that Facebook page, BMT-Black Man Talk. Please drop all your businesses in the comment section, how to reach them, social media, business cards, flyers, or whatever. Put them in the comment section. You know how we do on Title Town TVs, all our shows. Shout out to Title Town Wrestling, man. We'll be back hopefully one day tomorrow or Friday with another show for you guys. Don't forget about Hidden Through Laughter, our group Laugh Therapy, our bi-weekly show every Monday at 6:30. Yeah, man, we bring the fun and the healing. So, man, please come heal with us. Come laugh with us. Come talk it up with us, man. Male, female, same thing with Black Men Talk. Guys, if y'all want to come express your feelings, talk about controversial topics, hit on some things that you don't have a platform to talk about, please come on to the forefront. If you want to be on Sports Talk with KC, please let me know. Calling all high school, colleges, sports programs, whatever, man. I will be on different football fields this season. I'm locked in with Tuscaloosa Academy right now. I'll be on their sidelines talking with their players. If there's any local high schools, colleges that want to be on the sideline, talking with their players, coaches, getting some exposure to their players, another venue of exposure for your team, please reach out to me in my inbox or any member of Title Town TV. If they want me to be on the sidelines with you guys, man, and cheer you guys on, please follow me on all other social media platforms, Titletown TV _KC. Subscribe to YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Titletown TV. It's your boy KC back. Let's go. Later. Y'all have a good night, y'all.